EASTLANEDonté. You know what I'm saying? Straight out the East Coast. Lane, love all, no envy, and Dante is my name, so that's why it's the jumble up of all that. EASTLANEDonté. I'm 28 years old, from Hartford, Connecticut. Born and raised, first generation Jamaican. So you know what I'm saying, there's that. And I make a lot of music. It started pretty early on. I used to watch BT like videos all day with my dad sometimes on off days, and you know, he'd sit there with a keyboard and kind of just play. And I used to think music was so dope from like a young age. Maybe I was like 4 or 5, maybe younger than that, just watching him do that. So I always kind of had an interest. And come to find out, music's like really into my family. But I was probably like 12 years old when I, you know, started to practice myself. My parents bought me a keyboard with the lights and shit on it, so I used to teach myself how to play like Beethoven and Mozart and stuff like that. And then when I was 14, my cousins, the original EASTLANE members, found out that I played piano, and they're like, yo, you play piano? Like, we're making beats, we don't even have any like real musical talent or like background. So like, here, you definitely got it. So probably about 14 is when I started making beats, and then I didn't really start to record or call myself an artist until 2009. So I think I was 19 at that time, and that's when I started to record. My friend Phil, he was a real close friend of mine, and he urged me to rap often. We never really released any songs until then. And then on my birthday that year, actually, I just turned 19, he took me to a studio in one of our homies' houses. You know what I'm saying? We just popped up. It was like 9 of us in the room, and we recorded our first song. So from there, I'd say that's when I started making music as an artist until now. So it's been a minute. My music changed. I think I focused a lot on like traditional art, just kind of like, you know, write 16s, make your hooks, 16 hooks, 16 hooks. A lot of songs had longer structures and more conventional structures, whereas now, like, music pretty much, you can make it as long as you want, as short as you want. You know, a good example of that is XXXTentacion, XXX. He made a lot of songs that would bang for like a minute 20, and people would love those songs and bang those songs. So now I kind of incorporate that more in my music too. Like if I feel like a song is too short or too long or whatever, I'll make them as long or as short as I feel like I need to make them. Well, the writing process for me, it really depends on the case by case. Like sometimes, like I said, I'm making a lot of music off of a feel or a vibe. So I'll catch a vibe to whatever it is I'm writing first. Like, you know, I have to really feel the beat, have it speak to me. And then from there, I kind of freestyle a lot. Like it's kind of an art that I feel like is super important in hip hop and just rap music in general is just like the right now. You know what I'm saying? It may not always be pretty or it may not always be like fire off the rip, but that's how you catch a lot of your ideas. And then from there, I'll catch like maybe a hook or something like that, or just a line or something that I like, and then I'll start to construct the song like that. I'll piece it together almost like a puzzle. Sometimes I'll write the beginning first. Sometimes I'll write what I'm writing first, and it might end up being the end of the song or the middle or something like that. But usually I know kind of how I want to say stuff before I'm even done with the lyrics. Like I know exactly what my cadences will be, my melodies, and then I just fill them in. What inspires me? Life. That seems like a generic ass like answer, but like I pull a lot of my experiences from like my songs or my music that I create, like on the keys, like my beats, from life experiences with people, experiences with places, experiences, good and bad, like angry experience, like happy ones. I just pull from things that happen to me. So, you know, whatever that may be, like I said, life is the biggest source of that. Apart from that, like on my downtime, I watch a lot of anime, so that's something I'm into. Like, and video games as well. I play a lot of video games, kind of on my nerdy shit, but but honestly, like the frame of mind came from like when I was younger and I was making beats. I was super inspired all the time. All I wanted to do was make beats during the week. I couldn't make them. I had to wait to the weekends to go to my cousin's house, and just like I would get it in. I would log in, and as I got older, I was like, well, what am I not making time for now that I was doing then? Because I was feeling different in my energy, how I was taking stuff in, and I kind of just thought about it. I'm like, well, I'm not really watching as much, TV anymore. I'm not really playing my games like that, and those are things that inspired me from their music, from the colors, the color schemes, the lessons learned or taught, and I don't know, just certain things that I just pick up on in those pieces of media or just art. So I like to watch those a lot. But apart from those two major things, man, it's just life, my experiences with people. Artists in the past, like I said, I started rapping in 2019, so, or not 19, 2009. It's 19 now. So 2009. Back then, Drake was like on the come up. He was super big, so he's a big, at least early on, and you could probably even say now, like a big influence of like why maybe I sing in the songs, but also like Wiz Khalifa, like he was also pretty big too. And I liked how he mixed his style in with the music. So those two were major influences early on. Like, I still listen to both of those artists, so they may influence me now as well. I like Currency. Obviously like the producer rappers, so like Pharrell, Kanye, Big Crit, J. Cole, the Spitters. I love rappers that can rap, so like I like the Kendricks, Royce the 5'9". Eminem's good too. You know what I'm saying? He raps his ass off, man. Like, I just like the best of like each genre. Like, even being Jamaican, I'm trying to like incorporate more like reggae vibes, or like, like traditional reggae, dancehall reggae. I have a song on my album called Make It Right that's kind of like really dancehall driven, and more of that. On a song I did on my last EP called Beats and Lyrics, I have a song called Okay, where I get into a little spit where I'm going and speaking patois. So I'm trying to influence more of that, or put more of that influence in my music, I should say. Bob Marley, Barrington Levy, like I'm trying to incorporate more of that because that's who I am. So those are people who influence me that maybe I haven't showed as much of. Nas, love his storytelling ability. His penmanship is awesome. Yeah, man, I just really want to dig into more of those bags as far as those people, but those are some of the lists that inspire me, man. They're super dope artists. Badu too, don't forget Badu, oh my lord. Okay, word. So the album's called From Me to You. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time since I put out a project, like a full body project. My last full body project was December 2015. Like, that's been a long time. Here we are, 2019. I've dropped a couple like EPs and things here and there, but like, as far as like a full body project, it's been a minute. I've never fully produced a project that I put out. I fully produce projects for other people, but not for myself. So that's major for me. That's why, I felt like I needed to make it personal and make it the title personal, where people could feel that, that it was personal. So from me to you, I'm really making this. I'm really making this. I want them to kind of understand, like, I've been going through a lot, I've been doing a lot of stuff, and though people may always see like the positive stuff, like the things that they see on social media, all the good things I'm doing, that I'm human just like them, and I go through, my dark times and face my demons too. Because people tell me all the time, like, yo, you're doing great, you're doing this, you got this under control. Like, I want them to understand, like, it's not all just like butterflies and rainbows too, I want them to kind of just get to know me a little bit more and feel inspired, like, from whether it's the music, the messages of the songs, like, I just want them to hear and just connect. There's gotta be a song I got called ESM, Every Single Morning. I love it and I hate it. I love it because the crowd participation is always high. Everybody always feels good about the song when I'm doing it. It's an awesome vibe, man. But it's a bitch to perform because I'm rapping like double time the whole song. Like first verse, second verse, it's just like bars. I'm barring off. So it's hard to perform and be hype, but the reaction I get and the love I get from it is like always up. It's always a good one. Yeah, the biggest thing for me is I'm usually pretty jovial and like silly and outgoing. So before a show, I like to kind of just relax. I like to shut out a lot of like outside noise and kind of just like almost like a hermit. Like I get to myself. Like I kind of just like really cut off from everything. I try to envision or visualize the show beforehand and kind of just, you know, think about what I'm gonna say, think about my transitions, think about the order of my songs, and kind of just like cut myself out of everything and just like focus on, you know, what I have to do. So that when I get on the stage, like to this day, I get nervous. Like it doesn't matter where I'm at, I always feel like butterflies before the show. So I always kind of just like, instead of getting nervous and making it affect me in a bad way, it's kind of like in Talladega Nights when that girl got on the table at the end and she's just like, oh, you gotta take
a hold of that line between speed and chaos, and you need to wrestle it to the ground like a demon cobra. And then, when that fear rises up in your belly, you use it. And you know that that fear is powerful because it has been there for billions of years, and it is good, and you use it, and you ride it. You ride it like a skeleton horse through the gates of hell, and then you win, Ricky, you win!
Whatever she said. She said some wild, profound shit at that point in the movie. But I kind of do that. Like I just channel that energy and just, instead of getting nervous and angsty, I put it toward what I know I have to do and I just do it. And then just hit the stage, and after the first like 30 seconds, I'm good, I'm ready to go. I'm just feeling like charged up, ready to get it done. I would say have a clear picture in your mind of what you want to do. Know what you want your sound to be, know, you know, as best as you can. It's hard to really say at that point because, you know, you're still developing, but have a clear thought in your mind on what you want your music to sound like. Be open to hearing what people have to say, especially being open to that, like being able to cipher through good advice and bad advice, because a lot of people have ideas and thoughts different than yours, but that doesn't mean that they're not gonna work or they won't help you. So just having enough sense to listen to everything and applying it as it makes sense to you and what you're doing. And just, you know, having a strong team, make sure you trust the people who are in position to help you or that you're employing to really, you know, do some work with you, because you're gonna need them. You know what I'm saying? You can't do everything on your own, no matter how good you are. Trust me, I produce, I sing, I rap, I write my own songs, I record myself, engineer. You need people to help you. So if you got good people in your corner, make sure you stay close to them and you keep them and you trust them to do what they need to do for you. The album's gonna be on iTunes, the album's gonna be on Spotify. I'm gonna make physical copies as well. It may eventually be on SoundCloud, but I want people to buy the album. I put a lot of work into this. Is like years that I really put into me making the album. So I want people to really go out and support iTunes, Spotify for sure, Amazon. It's gonna be everywhere. Just let me know what works best for y'all. And I'm, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, get it to you. You can find me on everything, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. If you type in any of those /EASTLANEDonté, EASTLANEDonté. I'll pop up on just about anything. My YouTube link, like I said, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. If you want me on Spotify, it's EASTLANEDonté. All of it's EASTLANEDonté, everything. If you type it in, I should pop up pretty much just everywhere. I love y'all, man. From me to you, man. From me to you. I can't wait for this to come out. You guys to hear all the hard work, man. I love y'all. Keep coming to the shows, keep rocking. Yee.